Hi YouTube family, and welcome back to my channel. And on today's video, I'm going to be talking about 4 very quick money saving ideas and tricks and tips so that you can save money. Now, one of these will actually help you afford a mortgage. So in my previous video, I talked about paying off my mortgage. Well, there's some things that you can do that also help you afford a mortgage so that you can qualify for that. So let's get started on tip number 1. So tip number 1 is a very easy tip. If you turn your thermostat down 8 degrees, you will save on average 15% on your heating bill. So let me say that again. If you turn it down 8 degrees, you will save on average 15%. Now, there is a misnomer that turning it down will hurt your system, and that has been debunked by engineers. There's also a misnomer that you need to keep your furnace on all night long because otherwise it's going to play catch up all day long. And I'm going to tell you, another engineering feat is that if your home is insulated and you are in a mild to moderate type of climate, like we are here in Boise, then turning your heater off at night does not cost you more overall and does not make your furnace work harder when it's on. That's just silly. It doesn't even make sense. How can your furnace work harder if your thermostat, when it's on, is set at the same temperature? It just doesn't make sense. I think that is there so that people can sell you a new furnace system or can make you burn more energy or just keep your house freezing or cold or super warm during the winter. So one of the money saving tips my husband and I do is we turn off our furnace at night, completely off all year long. We don't run any heat or any air all year long. And we live in Boise and it can be 2 or 6 degrees or 8 degrees. We sleep with blankets. And there's also a misnomer. If you search the web, people will say you're not supposed to sleep cold. And it is exactly the opposite. Au contraire, sleeping cold is actually better for your health. So I'm gonna let you Google that. I'm gonna let you research that. You can look at the papers. There are medical papers. Tim Ferriss has done kind of like health benefits of that. So has Ben Greenfield. So has Dr. Huberman. Longevity doctors, Dr. Sachin Pandit's talked about it. So there are a lot of doctors who've talked about sleeping cold and the benefit of that. And so in the winter, that's fine. In the summer, you can get a mattress pad that allows cool water to flow through your mattress and to keep you cold so that you don't need that cold air on you and you won't sweat at night. So 2 tricks, 1 thing, that'll save you a lot of money. It will cut your heating and air conditioning bill in half. Because let's face it, you sleep 8 hours a day, or you're supposed to. So if you turn it off at 10 o'clock and don't turn it on again until 6, that's 8 hours. If you go to bed at 9 and don't get up till 5:30, that's another half hour, right? So that is a really good money saving tip. Money saving tip 2 is the big mortgage saving tip. Number 2 is do not buy a new car. And the caveat to that is buy a car 5 years or older. Unless it's a sales job where you're required to have a newer car, you will be saving half of the value of that car and interest is half. So you can go to CarMax and buy a more than 5-year-old car. And there are a lot of vehicles out there that nobody will know the age. And I'm going to tell you, there are high-end vehicles and nobody will know that it's a 2013 or 2014 or 2016. I bought a Porsche Cayenne and it was a 2014 and nobody knows it's a 10-year-old car. And I bought that car 2 years ago and I'm still driving it and I'm going to drive it another 2 years. And there's a book called The Millionaire Next Door. And did you know that like almost I think it's a huge percentage of millionaires, like most millionaires drive cars that are 10 years old or older. And that's how you save money, you know? So, but you can buy, like during the pandemic, I bought a Land Rover. It was a cool looking car. I bought it for $11,000. I was looking online for the same car, but newer, for $21,000. I saved $10,000. I put some money into it every year, and I kept that car going, and I sold it last year, and I did not lose money on that car because, you know, I didn't have a mortgage. I paid cash for it. It was awesome. I had people get into that car with me. I had to buy car seats because the car seats, you know, the covers, I had to buy car seats because the seats were worn out. It was an older car. It had some tush wear, right? And so that allowed us to buy another house. So that was a really, really good purchase. And then I got the Porsche a couple years ago. So I had that car for 2 years. It was a great car. And I actually hated to give it up because I saved so much money on that car and using that car, and people were very impressed with it, which just proved to me, kind of like an A/B test, that you don't need a brand new car to impress people. I had an Acura that was worth 3 times that car's value, and I had a client tell me, don't pick me up in your Acura. Craziness. So I picked her up in my old Range Rover. She was elated. It's just a Range Rover. It was old. I mean, I literally had to patch it up, and it's really funny. People are funny about things like that. So, tip number 2, buy a car or keep a car for more than 10 years old. Buy a used car 5 years or older, or keep your car for 10 years or longer, and you're set to be a millionaire. The tip about getting a mortgage is that the number 2 reason why people don't get mortgages is because of car debt. Car debt will keep people from being able to afford a mortgage. And it makes me so sad because these younger kids get a great job and then they get a $700 a month car bill, and that car bill keeps them from being able to buy a home, and they pay $2,000 a month in rent, and it just kills me. So sell the car, take a loss, pay it off, get a beater car if you're young, and drive it to work and back, and save up and get your credit fixed so that you don't have that big fat debt. That's a huge debt to carry. The other thing is if you have credit card debt, tip number 3, make 2 payments a month if you have credit card debt. I've done that before, and it speeds up the debt service on that. And if you pay right away, you also will not pay as much in interest. So that is tip number 3. Tip number 4, let's say you buy organic food. You can go to a discount grocer and buy their organic food and save dollars and dollars and dollars off your grocery bill. So we save about $20 a week by going to a local store here called Winco. They don't have Wincos everywhere, I realize, but they do have other stores like Grocery Outlet and other Savers and things like that. So definitely price shop things like almond milk, organic lettuce, organic fruits and vegetables. Oftentimes there's a discount store near you, and you can save $15 to $20 a week by doing that. So I hope that helps you, and don't hesitate to DM me for other money saving tips. I'm always trying to look for a deal. When I buy a car, I obsess over it, and I really, really try to save money any way I can. I love getting a deal. I also will spend money on something really, really nice. And the reason why is that I save a lot of money, and so that one nice thing will last me a very long time. So there is something about being penny wise and pound foolish, and I would rather spend the money on something very nice and quality that will last me a long time than have to buy it over and over and over again. And so what we do is if I buy something, I really consider, is this wasteful? Is this going to break? Is this going to fall apart? Or is this going to last me? And if it's something that lasts, then I will purchase it if it's something that is on my list. I also make a list before I go grocery shopping. That always helps so that I don't hungry shop. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy your life and this week and this weekend. Be safe, be happy, and be home. And don't forget, if you are looking for real estate, want to save money on real estate, want to get a deal on real estate, or just want to know what the real estate market is in Idaho, Boise, the Treasure Valley, and beyond, don't hesitate to DM me and call and set an appointment, and we can do a Zoom meeting.